A plus is not a person. A plus is an institution. I went into an election and won not because I lost primaries and I got angry. I knew I was going to win. And whatever I do in parliament is not dependent on who has majority and who has minority. The fact that NDC has majority and won over 50 seats with less than 500 votes should let them know that the tax ahead is huge. And so they have to be bringing people on board and working towards the next, unless they want to be in power for 4 years. We are experts in bringing governments down. We have the track record. We have done this over and over. And so if you are not doing the right thing, we are going to deal with you. I don't want us to start that early. NDC have shown clearly that they are ready. They want us to talk. I'm going to listen. I'm very confident, and what we are going to discuss is not something I'm going to put out there, because unlike the NDC MPP that I do not trust and I have to bait them, I believe that what the NDC will say they will stand by their words. And so it is not about whether who has majority they need or they don't need. Everybody in Ghana, you cannot be in Ghana and not need A+. MPP said they don't need me. I went out there and I took their seat. They will learn from that. And I don't think that NDC will make that same mistake.
Indeed.
Mr. Speaker is my father. That is why I'm obliging him. Even of all he did for you people, you wanted to stage a coup against him. Some of you didn't want him to come again. Mr. Speaker, it is true. And if they dare me, I'll mention names. Yes. Some of you didn't want Mr. Speaker back. Of all that he did for you to get power, you wanted to remove him. It took the prayers of our side. It took the prayers of our side to get Mr. Speaker back to this house. It took our prayers to get Mr. Speaker back. Some of you wanted to stage a coup against him. Challenge me. Take a Bible or Quran and use it to defend yourself and let's see. Yes. Mr. Speaker, by the grace of God, you are back. By the grace of God, you are back. It pains some of them. You are back.
Controversy had loomed large over who takes over the reins of speakership for the 9th Parliament after Majority Leader Alexander Penyumakin had hinted of plans to change Bagbin as Speaker. Names including Edward Dua Jao had come up for possible nomination, but all that will go up in smoke, with President-elect John Mahama tasking NDC MPs to nominate the veteran parliamentarian for the role. According to John Mahama, Bagbin's distinguished career in public service, including his roles as Member of Parliament for Nadoli, Minority Leader, Majority Leader and Speaker of the 8th Parliament, makes him fit for the role. Mahama also expressed confidence that Bagbin's extensive experience would be critical in steering parliamentary affairs. The former Member of Parliament for Nadoli Kalio, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, was elected Speaker of the 8th Parliament after winning the election held on January 7 with 138 votes. He beat his only contender, Professor Aaron Michael Kwe, who polled 136 votes. Until his victory, Bagbin was the second Deputy Speaker in the 7th Parliament. The election that saw Bagbin becoming Speaker was not without controversy. Several alarming incidents characterized the night, including a ballot snatching incident and the invasion of the military personnel into the parliamentary chamber. His tenure as Speaker of the 8th Parliament has seen some remarkable achievements, including the passage of a number of private members' bills and the drafting of new standing orders for Parliament. The 8th Parliament, under his leadership, has also seen reforms that modernize its procedures, streamline debates, and enhance legislative oversight, making the House more efficient and responsive to the needs of citizens.
You became known, quote unquote, notoriously for some role you played in this Parliament. You were described by the current Majority Leader as the hatchet man, and also you've been noted for being the one who snatched the Speaker's seat. I mean, are these things you regret as an MP?
I can never regret my action. They are all thoughtful. I thought through them before I acted upon them, and most of these things were staged, which means that I was doing the bidding of the party, and that is what I did. And
the party asked you to snatch the Speaker's seat?
I don't regret doing any of these things, because what necessitated the snatching of the Speaker's seat? You understand the ramification, what happened at that point in time, where a Speaker would get up from his seat and say he was going to vote. And that led to the Supreme Court decision, which probably in the near future we are going to challenge, because we think that these things are unconstitutional. Whether it is a Supreme Court decision or not, we need to seek review of such things. And so whatever happened in Parliament, in the 8th Parliament, it is something that was bound to happen, and it needed to happen, and that is why it happened. And I can tell you that it inured to the benefit of the good people of Ghana, and for that matter, even my party.
Those actions have widely been condemned. You don't think that you have to say you're sorry to anybody with that?
I can never be sorry for an action that I thought through, and that was orchestrated. And so why will I be sorry for something? You can only be sorry for something that you didn't plan to do. And all that I did was as a result of the survival of the party and the speaker himself. On the 6th of January 2021, we all saw what happened. Had it not been those actions, we wouldn't have elected the speaker. We wouldn't have had speaker as we speak now. And so those actions were thought through. If a speaker who claimed to be a speaker, and we all know our standing order, and that also resulted in the expansion of some of the standing orders. So that should tell you that what I did was not something in a vacuum, and people may condemn it, but I have my conviction, and as a man, I'm responsible for my action, and I still go by them.
Mr. Speaker, politics should be made attractive for those who want to wholeheartedly serve. Nobody should ever fear leaving government. Nobody should ever fear getting into government. If as a political class we mistreat ourselves, there will be nothing left for the governance of this country. I therefore would want to add my voice to the call you made, Honorable Forson, that we should have a better way of dealing with issues of alleged corruption, where we believe that somebody has committed a crime. We should allow due process of law to take effect. It is on this note that I condemn in no uncertain terms the establishment of a so-called committee called ORA. I hold the humble view that it is a needless committee. It has no constitutional backing, and this committee is only in for personal vendetta. If we allow this committee to continue with its so-called wild goose chase, it will disturb the governance of this country. We don't need any so-called ORA. We have institutions of state. However unhappy we may be with their work, we must support them to do their work. We don't want people to be chasing people into people's houses, going into people's bedrooms, thinking that their government is in office, so they should chase people for so-called ill-gotten wealth. Let's allow Mr. Speaker, they should expect more from tomorrow. This is what, you can't take it. I've just spoke. Then you've been putting up my mic, disrupting me. I will speak. Yes, it will be longer than this.
Every chapter of this journey has been marked by its own twists, turns, highs and lows. But in the end, the NDC Minority Caucus delivered and lived up to the expectation of the people. As we reflect on the years, we are reminded of the truth that all things, both good and difficult, have a beginning and an end. Mr. Speaker, as we draw the curtain of this distinguished Parliament, we cannot help but to give thanks to the Almighty God for His guidance and grace throughout our tenure. His hands has carried us through every storm and the challenges. We also extend our sincere appreciation to you, Right Honourable Speaker Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, for your exemplary leadership and unwavering direction. You came after a long tradition of competent speakers. However, none of your forebears were burdened with a hung parliament such as yours. You were the first speaker elected from a party that is not in government, but you were well prepared for it. From your days, Mr. Speaker, as a minority leader, a majority leader, and a deputy speaker, your wisdom, patience, and calmness, even under pressure, have been an anchor for this House, especially during turbulent times. Your ability to manage this Parliament with fairness, even in most challenging circumstances, has made you an outstanding statesman. To the members of the NDC Minority Caucus that briefly became the Majority Caucus, I express my profound gratitude for the support and cooperation that I, along with my colleagues in leadership, received from you over the past 2 years. Together, we have achieved numerous milestones, and I'm confident that history will be kind to us for our collective efforts. At the stroke of midnight today, the NDC caucus will re-enter this chamber with a strength of an unprecedented two-thirds majority. Mr. Speaker, this, I believe, serves as a timely reminder to the political class that the people of Ghana reward hard work, dedication, and true love for country. Mr. Speaker, despite facing significant challenges, this House has remained steadfast, navigating many turbulent waters, including certain actions by some members that sought to undermine the independence and authority of Parliament as a co-equal branch of government. Right Honourable Speaker, while many hope that this Parliament would usher in a new era of collaboration for the national good, some fear that it would deepen political divisions. Nonetheless, I can confidently say that the NDC caucus has consistently upheld the supreme national interest in everything we did. At every turn, we had been guided by one principle: to do what is right for the people of Ghana.